Learn English with English ThinkLab.
Hi everyone, I'm Jack.
And I'm Bella. Welcome back to English ThinkLab.
In our previous episode, we explored the foundations of English grammar. We talked about sentence structure. We talked about pronouns. We talked about the verb to be. And we talked about the simple present tense. These grammar tools allow beginners to start communicating.
At that stage, learners can say things like, I live in New York, I work in an office, I study English, I like coffee. These sentences are simple, but they allow communication.
However, after some time, many learners feel something interesting. Their English work, but it feels limited.
They can say basic things, but they want to say more. Maybe they want to describe something that happened yesterday. Maybe they want to talk about their plans for the weekend. Maybe they want to explain why they like something.
This moment is very important. It is the moment when learners begin moving from basic English toward intermediate English.
Intermediate English does not mean learning hundreds of grammar rules. It simply means expanding your language. You add new tools, you add new structures, you learn how to connect ideas.
And when this happens, your English suddenly becomes much more expressive.
One of the most important steps towards intermediate English is learning how to talk about the past. In real-life conversations, people talk about the past constantly. They talk about yesterday, they talk about last week, they talk about experiences from years ago.
Imagine you are in a coffee shop. You meet a friend. Your friend asks you, "What did you do yesterday?"
If you only know present tense, it becomes difficult to answer. But once you learn past tense, answering becomes easy.
You might say, "Yesterday I walked through downtown Seattle. Then I visited Pike Place Market. Later I had lunch in a small cafe."
Notice how these sentences allow you to describe a real experience.
Now let's look at how English forms the past tense. Many verbs add ed.
For example, work, worked, watch, watched, play, played.
Example sentences: I worked yesterday. She watched a movie last night and they played soccer in the park.
But English also has irregular verbs. These verbs change differently.
For example, go, went. See, saw. Eat, ate.
Example sentences. Yesterday I went to Central Park. Last night I saw a great movie. Earlier today, I ate lunch in a small restaurant.
Once learners become comfortable with past tense, they unlock storytelling. And storytelling is one of the most powerful ways to communicate.
Let me tell you a short story. Last summer, I visited San Francisco. I arrived early in the morning. The weather was cool and a little foggy. First, I walked across the Golden Gate Bridge. Then I explored the city. Later, I visited a small bookstore near Chinatown. In the evening, I had dinner with a friend.
Notice how this story uses past tense again and again. Arrived, walked, explored, visited, had. These verbs allow us to describe a sequence of events. Now let's compare beginner English with intermediate English. Beginner sentence, I went to a restaurant.
Intermediate sentence. Yesterday, I went to a small Mexican restaurant in downtown Austin. The food was amazing. I tried tacos and fresh juice.
Beginner sentence, I visited a park.
Intermediate sentence. Last weekend, I visited Central Park in New York. I walked for 2 hours and watched street musicians.
These extra details make your language more interesting and natural.
Another important step toward intermediate English is talking about the future. People talk about the future constantly. They talk about plans. They talk about goals. They talk about possibilities.
For example, imagine someone asking you, what are you doing this weekend?
You might say, "This weekend I will visit the beach," or "I am going to meet some friends."
English uses two common future forms, will and going to.
Examples: I will call you tomorrow. She will travel next month.
Examples with going to, I am going to study tonight. They are going to move to Chicago next year.
Future structures allow learners to talk about plans and intentions.
Imagine this conversation. Person A, what are you doing tomorrow? Person B, tomorrow I am going to visit the Museum of Fine Arts. Then I will meet a friend for dinner.
This is how future structures appear in real conversations. Another useful tool in intermediate English is comparison. Comparison allows us to describe differences.
For example, New York is bigger than Boston.
Los Angeles is warmer than Chicago.
Seattle is quieter than New York.
We often add er to adjectives. Fast, faster; small, smaller; cheap, cheaper.
Example, this restaurant is cheaper than the one near Times Square.
When comparing many things, we use the most.
Example, New York is one of the most exciting cities in the United States. Modal verbs are another important part of intermediate English.
Modal verbs include can, should, must, might, could.
I can speak English.
You should visit that museum.
You must try the pizza in Chicago.
We might go hiking tomorrow.
Modal verbs help express ability, advice, possibility, and obligation.
Basic English often uses short sentences.
Example, I was tired. I went home.
Intermediate English connects ideas.
Example, I was tired, so I went home early.
Common connectors include because, so, but, when, although.
Example, I stayed home because it was raining.
She wanted to go outside, but it was too cold. Now let's practice. Listen to this sentence. Yesterday I visited Chicago.
Now try this one. Last weekend, I walked through Central Park.
One more. Tomorrow I will meet a friend in Los Angeles.
Practicing like this helps your brain become comfortable with the language.
Many learners make the same mistake when using past tense,
They say, yesterday I go to the store.
but the correct sentence is yesterday I went to the store.
Another mistake is forgetting the S in present tense.
For example, she work in an office.
Correct version, she works in an office.
Learning to notice these mistakes helps learners improve faster.
An important milestone in language learning is thinking in English.
At first, many learners translate from their native language.
But as they improve, they begin forming ideas directly in English.
This happens gradually through listening and practice.
Grammar knowledge alone is not enough. Practice is essential.
Every conversation trains your brain,
Every mistake helps you learn.
and every new sentence makes you more confident.
Moving from basic English to intermediate English is not about memorizing hundreds of rules.
It is about expanding the language you already know.
You talk about the past,
You talk about the future,
you compare ideas,
you connect thoughts.
and slowly your English becomes richer and more expressive.
Language learning is a journey.
So keep practicing,
Keep listening.
and step by step, your English will grow stronger.